Nuno Russo, a master of martial arts, was born in 1954 in Lisbon, Portugal. His journey into the world of sports and gymnastics began at an early age, eventually leading him to become one of the first Portuguese to train in karate. Seeking to deepen his expertise, he lived in France and Japan to hone his skills.
At the age of 14, Russo started training in Jogo do Pau, a traditional Portuguese stick-fighting art. By 1976, at just 22 years old, he attained mastery in traditional Portuguese fencing, showcasing a natural talent for the craft. Inspired by his mentor Pedro Ferreira, Russo embarked on a monumental quest across Portugal to compile techniques from various Jogo do Pau schools.
Traversing the country, he immersed himself in diverse communities of Jogo do Pau practitioners, including many now extinct schools. After years of combat experience and under Ferreira's guidance, Russo developed his own method, giving rise to the renowned Lusitanian fencing school of Santo Condesteville.
Throughout the years, Master Nuno Russo has trained numerous students, conducted extensive workshops and courses nationally and internationally, featured in documentaries, articles, and books on Jogo do Pau, and provided stick-fighting training to various law enforcement groups. Today, he stands as an undisputed global authority in Portuguese stick fighting, enjoying international recognition in the martial arts community.
The modern form of stick fighting, known as Jogo do Pau, originates predominantly in northern Portugal, particularly in Minho. Its development flourished in regions like Terras de Basto, Terras de Burro, Arcos de Valdevez, and Faith during the late 19th century.
However, the roots of Jogo do Pau trace back much further. References to stick fighting can be found as early as the reign of King D. Duarte in the book The Art of Riding in Every Saddle. Techniques reminiscent of Jogo do Pau were prevalent in the 16th century, described in works detailing swordplay with 1.5 hands and with the montante. The tactics employed, especially in fighting multiple opponents, remain unchanged to this day.
There exists an intrinsic relationship between stick fighting and swordplay. While swords were predominantly wielded by the nobility, commoners utilized whatever was at their disposal. This historical tradition persisted through the ages, maintaining its purity and authenticity, unlike in other regions where martial arts evolved away from practical application.
Master Nuno Russo played a pivotal role in revitalizing Jogo do Pau, despite facing resistance within the Portuguese Stick Fighting Association, where he served as technical director. He organized the first national stick fighting tournament on June 22, 1986. Supported by the Portuguese Olympic Committee and Correio da Manhã newspaper, this event marked a significant milestone for the sport.
The tournament featured regional qualifiers in the north and south, with the top 10 players from each region advancing to the final competition held at the Ateneu Comercial de Lisboa. From there, 5 victors were selected to represent Portugal at the World Martial Arts Championship in France later that year. With an unbeaten record, the Portuguese stick fighters showcased the superiority of their technique, emerging as undisputed champions.
Russo's combat system employs specific rules and utilizes sturdy yet flexible sticks covered in foam to simulate real combat scenarios. However, due to the nature of these sticks, protective gear is required to ensure safety during matches.
Today, this style of combat continues to thrive, with annual events hosted by institutions such as the Cascais Stick Fighting School, Staff Fighters, and the Lusitanian Fencing School of Santo Condesteville, keeping the tradition alive and flourishing.